This game delay, but due to other circumstances we are able to bring it to you live. It's England against Panama. England's second game in the World Cup finals. We'll give you the two lineups in just a second. The teams are just in the tunnel now as we speak, and what an atmosphere, and it's a gorgeous stadium that we're in here for this fantastic World Cup game. So here we are in Novigrad. Nizhny Novgorod is the venue, and what a fantastic stadium we're in. As the two teams walk out onto the field, obviously to line up for the national anthems and everything else. But what an absolutely fantastic atmosphere. England should win this game on paper. Panama, who are already reeling off the back of a 3-0 defeat in the earlier games against Belgium, well, they'll be anxious to avoid a cricket score here today. The England fans in very good voice. And now, before the action and the team news, let's bring you the two national anthems, starting of course with our national anthem. Well, you just heard Gareth Southgate singing away there. Just shows how much passion they have in now. And now it's time for the Panama national anthem. Well, that was also beautifully sung as well, the national anthem. In fact, it's the first actual international meeting between the two sides, and let's hope it's going to be a fantastic display. Torres, in fact, is the captain, number 5, and Harry Kane, of course, is our England captain. And obviously we're going to give you the all-important England team news, which means it's the same team bar one. So Loftus-Cheek comes in, so it's Pickford in goals, and it's a back three of Maguire, Stones and Walker there. And then you've got Ashley Young on the left, Jesse Lingard just to the right of him. Henderson will be the anchor man in the central midfield role. Loftus-Cheek comes in, of course. Kieran Trippier was so good on the right-hand side of midfield. And up front, Harry Kane and Raheem Sterling. My feeling is that Sterling and Kane will play up front together, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sterling reverts behind Kane as sort of a number 10. We'll talk about Panama in a bit more detail later. The referee's got a bit of a job today. He comes from Egypt, incidentally. Gied Girisha. And Norbert Hantia is the fourth official there. So let's hope the officials have a decent game and hope he's a much better referee than the one we saw in the first game. The VAR team is led by Danny McAlery of Holland, Paul Gill of Holland, Van Gorko of Holland, and of course there's a guy from the United States as well whose name I didn't quite catch. Right, the Panama side with Jamie Pendendo in goal. Then it's Herrick Davis, Fidel Escobar, Roman Torres is the captain, and Michael Murillo, they're across the back. And then they're going five in the midfield with Rodriguez, Godonier, Gomez, the anchorman, Cooper, number 11, and Edgar Bacaminias. Barras Perez, number 7, is the starter man up front for Herman Gomez's side. And one or two names there that you won't have known, but there's quite a number of good players there. Gabriel Torres is amongst the substitutes there. He wears, of course, number 9. Well, there's Gareth Southgate, who's had a marvellous start as England manager. Made heavy weather of the victory the other day. There's the opposition manager, Herman Gomez, whose team really need a win this afternoon to give themselves a chance of qualifying for the last 16. But on paper, it should, well, we hope, be a comfortable English victory. As soon as the final whistle goes today, I'm going to have to go. So as soon as the final whistle goes, that's it. I'm gone. But we are bringing it to it's a last minute thing. But we're going to bring this game delay for you. The sun is beautiful. The humidity is quite high. At least about 45% humidity here in Bubblecrod. And we're all set to go. England in white this afternoon, attacking the goal to our left to start with, and Tunisia, or rather Panama, sorry, all in red. So England clear favourites with the bookmakers, odds on, and surely they can't fail now. They've had so many footballing disasters in the last 4 years in major tournaments. Surely this will be the lowest of the low if they can't beat Panama. It would eclipse their defeat to Iceland, but we can't start thinking negative fives. It's a vibe and a verb about Gareth Southgate's men, and I would be very amazed if we were to lose to Panama this afternoon. Only a win would do, and a good win now would certainly boost the goal difference because, well, they were banged in 5 yesterday, the Belgians, and on top of that they've scored a whopping 8 goals and conceded 2. So England really need to start very well, and they're down the left-hand side straight away, bowling towards Lingard. And almost a dream start for England. It still might come for Lingard inside the area. There's a player gone down, and the referee, in fact, has given a free kick to Panama. Although I have to say Jesse Lingard is injured. Well, I'd like to see that one again. I didn't notice the Panama player down there. Lingard going for it. Well, in fact, that's the other week. Should have been a penalty. He's elbowed him there. That's a penalty. Another poor decision in the early stages from the referee. I think Gomez has elbowed his man, and I think that should be an English penalty. I am very amazed that England have not reviewed it in the VAR. Poor decision again. I make that 3 penalties that should have been given, not given for England so far in this tournament. There you go. That's a penalty. Absolutely. No question about it there. Southgate claiming an elbow. I think England have a case there, and I think that should be a penalty. Oh, I didn't really want to talk about England again and being on the wrong end of refereeing decisions today, but I'm afraid I have to. Because I'm afraid Mr. Garissa of Egypt has made a total ricket. Jesse Lingard, more importantly, making sure the physio, making sure that his eyes are nice and clear. It's always a tough sight when someone's groggy from certainly being blatantly elbowed, and that looked a penalty. Why wasn't VAR consulted? That's got to be the question. We've got the technology, use it. And I think that decision, if it had been done correctly, I just think the Egyptian referee should have given a penalty. But it's a free kick to Panama, which is a very dubious decision here. And off we go again. And of course, you know, remind everyone that you can comment on this match today within reason. The comment section is open for business as usual. Well, the Egyptian referee is certainly not giving any favours to England in the opening exchanges, is he? He's calling Jordan Henderson down, and I think it's to calm down. I think England have got every right to feel aggrieved about a non-reward of a penalty that should have been given. Disgraceful start from the referee, but it's Davis number 15 here on the far side with a free kick to Panama. And here they come now into the penalty area, but again the English defence very stern and stubborn. And then the shot back in, and it was about 40 yards out. It was very speculative by Bakarinias, and it's over the top for a goal kick. It was a right-footed try, and in the end it didn't come off, thankfully, for England at all. And that would have just been the tip of a very large iceberg if that had gone in. That's 3 cast iron penalties England should have had, not given. But here come the Panama side, no doubt barred by that, no doubt buoyed by that, and they've got space, and well, England were all over the shop. Goodeye had the whole room, and he had more time than he thought. Good move down the right hand side, and England here really at 6s and 7s at the back. They left Godoy 3, and if he'd have just took a touch, controlled it and got the shot off, then England might have been looking down the barrel of an early concession. Not good defending by the back 3. And that was a major chance for Panama to really shake everything up here in this group. I'll tell you what, it would be an interesting last match then if Panama were to win this game. I say to win it, I mean it's an unlikely occurrence because England on paper should have too much, but at the moment the Panama side have started really well, and they've got a free kick again. And it's Rodriguez, the player down. There's minimal contact there by Loftus-Cheek. I think he makes a meal of it there. The referee needs to get a grip on this game, because that's just pure play acting. And I think Mr. Rodriguez knew what he was doing. And it's not Jay Rodriguez, by the way, of Burnley. Oh, a former Burnley player, by the way. Just to stop Burnley fans writing in or phoning up, or even emailing me. Meanwhile, it's a goal kick. Well, England feel hard done by some of these refereeing decisions. Why do we have Egyptians who have no control or have no experience in handling major games? It should be the best South American or European official in charge. There were murmurings of discontent with the Serbia crowd when they lost their match 2-1 the other day. There was a lot of conspiracy theories going on here. And of course a World Cup wouldn't be a World Cup without a lot of conspiracy theories and controversy. And I've had a right pop at referees in the last week or so. That's got to be an English corner, and it is. Trippier doing well, running down the right and forcing the defender into conceding the corner. Now, England scored from 2 corners that were brilliantly taken. The first from Young in the first half against Tunisia, and Trippier, who's going to take this one here from the near side, or from the far side rather. So Trippier takes them on the right and Young on the left. And again, the referee being a little bit overcautious here about pushing and shoving. Let the game breathe. There's no need to do all this. Just get on with the game. It's only going to waste time, and it's only going to excite the fans and frustrate them here. Let the game breathe. If there's pushing and shoving, well, and surely now he's going to... Well, he's pushed Maguire down here, and I think the referee's got to take stronger action here. Well, it's all happened here in the first 7.5 minutes. Now then, Trippier. Now then, that's a good ball in there. Header on, it's a goal! A goal for England! And just the start they needed is John Stones with a header from 7 or 8 yards out. And England get the start they so desperately wanted. 8 minutes gone, and it's the big Manchester City centre-back. Free header, left unmarked, bang, 1-0. Simple, concise finish, no chance keeper. And England off to a good start. And John Stones, who's been absolutely belittled since he's moved to Manchester City, where it hasn't quite come off for him thus far. Well, he's done it now. What a moment for him. And he's not the making of him so far as the England band celebrates. 1-0. Well, Lingard have rose above the refereeing injustices so far in this game. Well, what a header from John Stones. Just the start England needed, in more ways than one. And that could be a long afternoon now for Panama, who really now I've got to come out now and try and attack England. They're going to have designs or ambitions of staying in the tournament. And here's Henderson nicking it in there towards the left hand side, and Kane knocks it on. And that's surely got to be a free kick here on halfway, and the referee's going to book him. No hesitation at all against the number 11 Cooper. Lingard is absolutely in the wars here. And there's no doubt Cooper had a swipe at him. That's a stupid thing for him to do. And how he has the goal to complain. And in fact, that yellow card is his second in the tournament, and now he misses the final group game against the Tunisians on Thursday. You'll of course play Belgium. You would think at this stage for leadership of the group. But England must not do is rest on their laurels and go for 2, 3 or 4. Boost up the goal difference as much as they possibly can. And now try and win this game very, very convincingly. John Stones the man in the moment. And again, he's giving it away. And here's a chance now for Cooper with a good tackle there. Good, strong, firm challenge. Well, the Tunisian coach has got a lot to think about. As Bakarianis plays that in, and again, the England defence wasn't quite as sturdy, but Stones got in the way there. And here he is now, but he's giving it away. England, it was Kyle Walker in fact that gave the ball away. Now the ball knocked back at Panama now coming forward. And England here and at 6s and 7s, and someone has just got to get a grip on this and say, come on, let's snap out of this. Pickford's kick with a left foot. England 1, Panama 0. John Stones after 8 minutes. Here's a good ball forward, but I think it might be too strong. Indeed it is from Jordan Henderson. It's out for a goal kick. In actual fact, I think he's given a free kick for offside. So England 1 up. 1-0 up. And here comes Mauricio. Back to Escobar. A long ball forward by Escobar from his own half. Stones and Kyle Walker there intercepted for England. Midway inside their own half. England 1, Panama 0 is the score. And on the balance, the right scoreline at the moment. England have had 1 or 2 nervy moments in defence. As a long ball knocked forward towards Harry Kane over on the far side, but he can't control it. And it's out for a goal kick. Well, this was a nervy moment for Kyle Walker here. But he got there, and I tell you what, Perez was in there for a tap-in. If Walker hadn't got there, that was a good bit of defensive play, I have to say, from Kyle Walker. Did really, really well. Still 1-0 England in Novgorod. The Logistic Stadium. And it's fair to say, really, as we get the teams back up again on that picture. Excuse me a minute, I was just blowing my nose. I've got a goal, and as Harry Kane comes charging through, out comes the goalkeeper Pandriel. He takes the ball, no problem at all. England 1, Panama 0. Kane winning that ball back deep inside the Panama half towards the area. That's surely got to be a free kick, but the referee says no. Well, I've got to say, the Panama side are getting away with blue murder as regards refereeing decisions. That looked a certain free kick on Harry Kane. And the Egyptian official here has got to get his geography together. How can you give a free kick to Egypt when they've done nothing to earn that? Well, the possession favours England, certainly. 63% in favour of them to Panama's 37%. This is the first meeting between the sides, and another cheap free kick given away. This time Davis, the man, fouled. The referee here is giving far too many decisions for my liking. It's one or too many free kicks, and I think he's trying to disrupt the flow of the game and not let the game breathe. I think he's in danger of strangling the game. As Torres gets that out to the far side, and Davis is there on the left-hand side. And then the ball back in field. Davis has a second goal. Good football this time now for Godoy. Comes flying in. He's had the best chance for the Panama side. Now a chance here from Mauricio to come forward. Plays it to number 11, Cooper. Cooper in field on the right-hand side. Good football for Panama. Keeping the ball really nicely here. Mauricio still forward. England can't get the ball off him at the moment. And he needed two defenders, and Mauricio, in all fairness to him, has got round the cul-de-sac and has kept the ball in pretty well. And there's a shot, and it was not far away by Bacarinas. It was a good left-footed try. Another inch or two inside on target. Another inch or two to the right, to the left, and that was 1-1. It was right. A goal kick, quarter of an hour gone. Just watch the curl on this ball. Just needed to go in field to the right a little bit then, and if it had been on target, there may have been question marks whether Pickford would have got there, because that was sweetly hit by Bacarinas. And Panama have had a couple of presentable opportunities. England not making it easy for themselves here. Henderson getting back there and taking the ball well deep inside his own half here, and it's been a bit of a struggle. There's an injury down on the field. It's one of the Panama players down, and it's Torres, the captain. There's Raheem Sterling involved, and well, he took the ball, and he must have followed through onto Sterling. I don't like that from the manager. I have to say, you can't say that's a bookable offence. Sterling went for the ball, didn't get any of it, and then the coach of Panama has gone out waving an imaginary yellow card. That's not, to me, in my opinion, is bringing the game into disrepute. Torres having plenty to say about it, but there's nothing wrong with committed challenges in the game of football, and I think that's something that the Americans, South Americans and the American side have to get, like Panama, they need to get a grips with it. And there's nothing wrong with the attempted challenge by Sterling. He just mistimed it by a couple of inches, and that's all it needs sometimes. And we see the goal again. A free header for Stones, and a good finish. England off to a good start, but at the moment it's been far from easy. And the referee's going to start the game with a drop ball, and England have possession now with Jordan Pickford. But it's the England fans who are celebrating, although it's a bit premature yet to say that we're going to win the game, because Panama have had a couple of presentable chances. Thankfully Torres is okay, but I wasn't happy with the the coach there of Panama, asking for an imaginary yellow card. It just that, in my opinion, in my eyes, is bringing the game into disrepute. However frustrated he may well feel about it, he can't complain that some of the big decisions that England should have had a penalty early doors, that should have been given for an elbow. So I think his team have been very fortunate in some cases. But it's John Stones for England. The important thing is that England are one up. Walker tries to find Trippier out on the far side, the right hand side. Trippier can't keep that in. Walker just overcooked the long ball a fraction, and sometimes a long ball like that, if you overcook it a fraction, it can go all Pete Tong on you. But it's 1-0 to England. John Stones, the goal scorer, after 8 minutes. And what a contrast in both Manchester City defenders, where Otamendi was a disgrace of a player on the other night for Argentina when he should have easily been sent off. And here you got John Stones here, behind him in the pecking order at Manchester City, and really doing some good play. There's a chance here for England inside a penalty area, a chance here for number 2, and surely that's got to be a penalty. Well, Escobar could have no complaints. Lingard came in down the right. There was no question at all that he was fouled. Escobar complains the decision, but I think the referee was right. Escobar wrong side of him, and in fact 2 of them wipe him out. And I think you could have given a penalty against either one of Torres or Escobar there. I think the referee was correct. You cannot do that. And I think justice for once in this crazy game has been done. No attempt to play the ball. Crazy play from the Panama side. And a penalty quite rightly awarded by the Egyptian referee, who's starting slowly and surely to get his grip on this game. And with basically 20 minutes of the match gone, well, was there a potential offside there? I think that's what they're complaining about. Well, certainly not against Lingard, but it's certainly a penalty. And they're still complaining, which is not helping Harry Kane too much, I've got to tell you. I think Panama would be wise just to get on with the game and accept the decision. They are adamant it wasn't, but in my view it was a penalty, and they need to shut up and get on with the game, as Harry Kane will take the responsibility here against Pendero. And still the number 6, Gomez. Now he's having a few words to say. He has to get back here. In these last 3 penalties, he's missed 1 and scored 2. 1 down the middle, 1 to the left hand side. Which way will he go now? The goalkeeper purposely standing on his goalpost, on his left hand goalpost here, and there's still more trouble here. When is the referee going to stop brandishing the Panama players' yellow cards? Because any more lips, surely. And the referee's got to stop brandishing cards. But Harry Kane's a cool customer, alright. And surely he has to make it 2 from the spot. Short run up, the goalkeeper eventually on his goal line. So Kane with the right foot, short run up about 3 yards. Kane strikes it, and it's into the left hand corner. England go 2 up, and now breathing space between themselves and Panama. And surely now England are 1 foot, dare I say it, in the last 16. And now what's going on? There's more complaints. Well, there's nothing wrong about the penalty. Now, I don't know what Panama have got anything to complain about. What is going on in this game? There's nothing wrong about the penalty. The penalty's firmly struck. The goalkeeper's been beaten. It's 2-0. The goal's standing, by the way. I would be unbelievably amazed if he was to chalk it off. It's his 3rd goal in the competition. He's now 1 behind Cristiano Ronaldo and Romelu Lukaku. And if the Panama players are not careful, they're going to have yellow cards brandished against them. They're just absolute sore losers. There's no doubt in my mind that it was a penalty, and certainly there was nothing wrong with the way Harry Kane dispatched the penalty. And the referee here is... And, well, he's given a yellow card to one of the English players. He's given it to Loftus-Cheek. Well, for a powder puff foul. It wasn't anything malicious or vicious. He's giving Loftus-Cheek a yellow card. Well, maybe he'd have done well to book some of the Panama players for dissent. Because about 2 or 3, maybe 4 of them were complaining about the award of the penalty, which was rightly given. He's had a mixed match so far, the Egyptian ref. But the good news is England are 2 up and are rising above the referee now. What happened then? Well, I don't think there's anything wrong. He didn't affect the flight of the penalty. Not that the goalkeeper was going to make any difference. Just shut up and get on with the game. You're 2-0 down and you deserve to be. I don't know whether it's a combination of that or the frustration of the penalty being awarded against them, but well, by rights they should have had 2 given against them so far, the Panama side, and I'm absolutely convinced that Lingard should have had an earlier penalty when he was elbowed by Gomez, and the decision went Gomez's way. I think the referee was quite right. And Panama now, with 24 minutes gone, are in big trouble as regards the scoreline, and in massive trouble, in my opinion, of losing their complete discipline. As England now go all out for the 3rd one, they can't get the ball in play, the ball in from the right, and Lingard just failed to control it there at the crucial stage. But, well, one has to say, I've not been impressed with Panama one iota. The way their discipline has been absolutely disgraceful. You can comment in the comment section. Let's have some comments about the game and how the referees performed and how England have performed. We are on until about 5 to 3 this afternoon, and of course we'll have a 15-minute break to catch our breath here after a breathless 25 minutes or so here in this game, where England are now 2 up and surely on their way to 3 crucial points, and the more goals they can get, a 3rd one would be handy before half time, because I think it would give the English very much an impotence. And of course goal difference counts big time, and especially if we get a better goal difference than Belgium and we end up drawing the match, we would top the group. And I tell you what, there'll be more benefits to topping the group than finishing 2nd. Of course, if we were to beat Belgium, and let's be fair, Belgium have had it a bit easy in the first 2 games. Oh, now then, the flag has gone up, I think, for offside, and I think that was the correct decision this time. It was against number 10 Raheem Sterling on the far side, just to the right of the D, on the edge of the Panama penalty area. 26 minutes gone then. England in cruise control, shall we say, although they've had 1 or 2 little bit of hair and scare moments at the back. But Panama look a team now that looked absolutely shattered even after 26 and a half minutes in terms of the way they're playing and of course their discipline. No doubt about it, the penalty was the right decision from the Egyptian referee. I'd like to get people's opinions on that as well as the header comes back. And it's with Pinheiro. Of course, Chris is working today, and Russ, of course, likes to watch England games with his family. But I'm sure Panini will be expressing his 2 pence, and I'll be amazed if he isn't on at some point this afternoon. Would love to get his wisdom on the game. He's a good contributor, and he's also one of our moderators, along with Absolutely Anonymous. None of them both have not been on so far. With, mind you, we were a bit. It was a bit last minute, being the way the arrangements have worked out. We are 27 minutes into our live match that we weren't planning to go live with, but it's a good job we've gone live. And at the moment, I've been able to describe a very good England performance, even if the referees has been a bit on the suspect side. England 2 up, and deservedly so. They've been the better team. Here come Panama trying to create something on the far side with Davis, and then the ball back inside, and now the ball in the centre circle. And it's Escobar knocking it forward. He was the one who was adjudged to, I think, have given the penalty, and then there was also Torres in there to double up on Lingard as he went crashing down. I've been impressed by number 8 back again, because he's a really live wire of a player, and he had that 20-yard speculative shot just to the right of the D just a few moments before that penalty was given. And at the moment, England playing some good football, playing with a good confidence and a bit of swagger as well. And the good thing is, goals are coming from other areas as well as Harry Kane. He's got 3 goals, and John Stones the other one so far. So England have got 4 goals in the tournament, 1 concession, and that was a dodgy penalty for Tunisia, of course, in the first game. But Kane's got 3. And he's one behind Mr. Ronaldo and Mr. Lukaku in the scoring stakes as the ball comes forward now. A real chance here for Davis to get the ball back, or Rodriguez rather, to get the ball back on the left hand side, and he's ended up hitting it or crossing it wildly out of play over the top of the bar for a goal kick. But a little dodgy moment there for England as we come up to 29 minutes gone here, and a glorious Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock local time. It's now, in fact, it's nearly 3:30 local time, 1:30 back in the UK. 2 shots to 3 in Panama's favour, but England have had 2 shots at target and both have gone in. The header from John Stones from the corner, taken by Trippier. That's an assist for Trippier as well in the competition. And of course, Harry Kane's penalty here in Novgorod. And a beautiful sunny afternoon here. Here's John Stones deep inside his own half, but he gets it to the centre circle. Walker gets it over the halfway line to the right hand side, and here's Trippier. Trippier knocks a long ball forward in towards the area, and again Raheem Sterling this time was gambling in behind there and almost getting fortunate then as England look for that 3rd one. We've got 15 minutes before the break. We've had half an hour here in this group game. England 2, Panama 0. Remember, the other game finished, it's Group G. England's rivals for qualification. Belgium won 5-2 yesterday, and Germany had a late comeback, of course, against the Swedes in their group, and what a goal to win it by Cruz, I think it was. Great, cracking little free kick. But England 2 up and coasted. That's got to be a foul. Raheem Sterling again, the stricken player. But there's so much positivity at the moment with England. I think they'll fancy it against the Belgians this afternoon, on Thursday afternoon, or Thursday evening. And Chris Waterman will be your man in the commentary box, as he will be for the next 2 or 3 nights as well, whilst I'm away. And of course, I'll try and cover the last stages of some of the group matches myself via delayed, and then obviously I'll be back live a week today with one of the outstanding last 16 matches on the Sunday. And of course, when the draw breaks out, we'll go for the more attractive one as the header comes in at the back post by Harry Maguire from the free kick, looking to get his first goal for England, and it's ended up on the roof of the Panama net. And England look every bit lively on set plays as well as going forward, and it was a good header back by Maguire. Sterling was waiting also at the far post. I think that's what he was trying to do, get it back towards Raheem Sterling, and in the end it didn't go up well for him. 35 minutes gone. The World Cup 2018 live on the JB Clark YouTube channel in association with John's Beautiful Fragrances by Essence. All your favourite fragrances, aftershaves and perfumes. For the ladies, £20 for a 50ml bottle. And made in exactly the same factory as the originals. No testing on animals, and 100% natural oils compared to the chemicals in the originals. And of course it's vegan friendly as well, so if any vegans listening, it's just the product for you. That's the end of the promotion, and here's England now with Pickford getting it forward 3/4 of the way up the field, and the header back and out of play for a throw-in to England, who are 2 up. They can play control of this game. Well, the World Cup has certainly been amazing. This is our 15th match from the tournament on the YouTube channel. And when we did the Euros, we managed to cover 20. Only 20 of the matches. So to get 15 at this stage of the tournament with 3 commentators is a great effort. So, of course, we'll be... Chris Whiteman and Chris Byrne in the commentary team, that's the backup commentary team, have been absolutely superb. And of course, Chris will be in the box for England against Belgium on Thursday night. The ball is kept in very well by Young, and not once but twice. No, not kept it in the second time. Left outside is... Oh! I thought Merrill was going to push there, but, well... Was there an offside? Perhaps there. Certainly not against Jesse Lingard. And it certainly was a foul. Taken him from behind. And under FIFA laws, it had to be a penalty, which was converted quite superbly into the net by Harry Kane. But the Panama side, I'm afraid, they've not had it all their own way. I'm afraid they've been trying to spend half the game trying to be very much in the dissenting. I mean, if it was for dissent, if there was a competition for the most dissent shown in the tournament, I think they'd certainly be hot favourites. But it's 2-0 to England, and they're playing with a real swagger and a real confidence about them now. And the accuracy out of 179 passes for England is at a whopping and brilliant 88%. Their passes have been crisp and with an 88% accuracy. There's nothing wrong with that at all. 2-0 to England. Coming up towards the last 10 minutes of the first half here in Volgograd. A third one will be absolutely crucial before the break, as England just keeping the ball inside the centre circle. This is John Stones on halfway. Stones to the left hand side. Now Lingard to Young, left hand side. Young back in towards Jesse Lingard. Lingard running at his defenders, getting it back from Sterling. It's Jesse Lingard, right foot. Oh, what a screamer! What an absolute screamer from Jesse Lingard! It's 3-0 to England, and the goal difference is piling up for England. It's been a great first half for them. Terrific right footed drive from Jesse Lingard and Manchester United. And England go 3 up, and it was a lovely build up down the left hand side. Good 1-2 there with Sterling, and what about that for a gorgeous finish? You can't take nothing away from the finish of Jesse Lingard. That was a finish, I have to say, of pure genius. Great goal. Soon as it left its right foot, it was in straight away, top corner, no chance for the goalkeeper, and Jesse Lingard's goal of pure genius. And again, like he was the other night, Gareth Southgate, fist in the air, punches the air in delight. England fans punch the air, and this is a fantastic England performance. Yes, it's not against one of the big guns of the tournament, admittedly, but still 3-0, and it's probably their best performance in a tournament for some time that I can remember. And the confidence in the England camp now is oozing. 3-0 to England. And Southgate is offering more to England as a side, more than Roy Hodgson ever did in his 4 years as England manager. Southgate's got them played, there's no doubt about that. 3-0 up and playing some of the best football I've seen from an England side for many, many a year. At a major tournament. Yes, it's against Panama, but still... You can only play what's in front of you, and England are doing just that easily. And the goal difference is piling. 3 in the first half. I expected us to get at least 3, and we've got 3. Now we must not concede before the break. And now here's the chance for Rodriguez now to get the cross in. Panama have offered a little bit of something going forward, but not too much as that cross comes in. Oof. Just needed a touch there as that cross came in on the left hand side there. Perez was going for it, and Godoy was there. It was a good ball by Bajilias, and it just needed a little bit by Godoy, and it might have been in the back of that net. A little warning there for England, but they're playing well. That's the important thing. Pickford hasn't had any saves to make so far in the 38 minutes that we've been playing. And as his long kick 3/4 of the way up the free, they're going to have a free kick to Torres' frustration. I'm surprised he's not in the book at this stage. His descent has been absolutely poor. It's been appalling descent. And with 38 minutes gone, England looking to extend the lead possibly to 4, and it's in a fantastic position about 30 yards out, and Torres is still arguing the case. Why is not the Egyptian not brandishing a yellow card here? Meanwhile, the England players are having a little get together, a little team talk. Trippier, Henderson, Stones and Young. Harry Kane, the captain, lending an ear to the conversation. Well, the England fans are in dreamland here. Okay, we're playing Panama, but these were the teams that we were supposed to get care of 2 years ago when we were playing the likes of Iceland and teams like that. But we are now playing with a real swagger, and I think Trippier fancies this. It's going to be the right foot. I think he might just float this into the penalty area. England looking for this 4th one. That would really put the seal on the game as before half time. And still the Panama players protest. I don't know why. As Trippier plays it short, a little chip in there from the far side, and surely a third one, 4th one, yes! Sterling on the first ever that was saved, and it's John Stones again! 2 for him and 4 for England! This is an absolute walkover! My word, England are playing football of real pure genius. And no wonder the smiles are on the faces of the England players. It was a cleverly worked free kick. Trippier with a short one, and then the ball whipped in just to the left of the day. Watch this. This is fantastic. Short to Henderson, little chip in there, and no offside. Certainly on the second ball. Header from Sterling, well saved by Pendolo, and John Stones at the back post, unmarked, was hanging there, hovering, and finishes the job superbly well. Kane with a header, Sterling there as well. Good save for the keeper, and Stones from a yard out, can't miss, and it's 4-0 to England. Wow. And the England supporters are in dreamland. I know it's Panama, but with all due respect, but my word, England are playing with some swagger now. And there's still 5 minutes of the first half to go, and England have actually bettered the result between... Now, the referees having a word or two. So there's more complaints from Panama. This is... Well, I'm disgusted with Panama here. And they've got the VAR. Well, if it turns out to be disallowed, this will be a disgrace. There's no doubt Stones was onside here. I would be amazed if this was to be chalked off for offside. He's got to give the go, and yes, he's going to give it. 4-0 it remains. At least now, Panama can have no more complaints. Their descent in the first half has been ridiculous, to say the least, and that's the only gripe I've got about the first half. But England, I've got absolutely no gripes about. Stones with 2 goals, Harry Kane with 1 from a penalty, Jesse Lingard with a sumptuous goal of pure genius to make it 3 from 25 yards with his right foot into the top corner. And Stones from 3 yards out, definitely onside, absolutely anonymous is on. Wow, just wow. This is a strange but fantastic feeling. Well done, lads. And they have, I know with all due respect to Panama, they're not the world's greatest football nation. Let's be realistic about it, but still, it was expected that we'd run up a cricket score. Well, Belgium only got 3 in their match against Panama. They all came in the first... they didn't come in the first half. It was 0-0, of course. In the second half, they cut loose. And now we're going to cut it loose here. They're looking for number 5 before the break. And Jesse Lingard trying to repeat the trick, this time more central of the D, with his same right foot, gets a deflection and a possibility of a 5th one from a corner kick. Wow. This is the England that we know that we could play for years. But maybe there's a team spirit there now that's certainly in place here, where there wasn't at major tournaments. There's a real sense of togetherness between the England players and the media, and the referee's calling over Loftus-Cheek and the number 4 Escobar. Escobar is... I mean, some of the Panama's descent has been ridiculous, to say the least. Trippier, again, he's had a good game. An assist to his name. And upon in a cleverly worked three-kick routine which led to England's fourth, and it's a good corner again, and England now, they had a player gone down, and surely the referee's got to give a second one here. He's giving it, and I don't think there's much doubt about that. More dissent, I'm sure, from Panama, but there was no doubt about it, and Escobar would do well to stay out of trouble. Look at this. John Stones was surely pulled, and the arms come across. He's pulling there. He's got a fistful of shirt practically there, and of course there's Harry Kane as well. Another double. Wow, look at that. Good eye. That's stupid. Absolutely stupid from the Panama team. They've completely lost their discipline. They've completely lost their geography. And Harry Kane here, and what they have done is presented Harry Kane with a golden opportunity to make it 5 and get his 4th goal of the tournament to draw level with Mr. Ronaldo and Mr. Lukaku in the scoring charts. Wow. This first half could not have gone so swimming. And about time too, referee. A yellow card for dissent. I don't know who he brandished it to. It's certainly to a Panama player. And, well, I think Torres would do well to stay out the referee's notebook here. There's more complaints. We knew this was going to happen. Why can they not accept the decision and move on? It was a correct decision. The number 4, Escobar, is the man in the book. And about time as well, because he's been bordering on the lines of stupidity throughout the first half, quite frankly. Well, Harry Kane had a delay on the first penalty. He's got another delay on the second one. And I tell you what, Panama, if they keep on arguing here, the referee might have to take stronger action. I'm surprised he hasn't done it already, because their descent in the first half has been pathetic. A disgrace to football. And they should be charged as a team for bringing the game into disrepute. But it might not matter anyway, because England are 4-0 up, and Harry Kane now with a chance to make it 5. The goalkeeper now trying to put him off there by taking a long time. We're now into stoppage time. We've played the 45 minutes. It's short run up again like before. Will he go the right-hand side as opposed to the left-hand side? Kane now steps up right-footed. He goes the same side. Sends the keeper the wrong way. And England now moving to a 5-0 lead. This is fantastic. And the goal difference is going to help a lot here. 5-0. And England have put on a 5-star first-half performance. A penalty of pure genius. Right in the top corner. You can't get much better than that. And England here are taking the Panama side well and truly to the cleaners. No question about it. They're having a party here in Russia. And Kane joins Ronaldo and Lukaku at the top of the scoring charts. But it's Godoy who's, well spotted the Egyptian referee. And how the Panama side could have any complaints is beyond me. I think the whole of the team should have the book thrown at them for bringing the game into disrepute. I really do. We're into the second of 200 minutes, by the way. A great penalty. There's an Englishman down there. The referee hasn't spotted. And surely it's got to be stopped. It's Harry Maguire, I think. And looks a bit winded to me. Wow. This first half could not have gone as well as we'd have hoped. And this is the incident. Whoa, I tell you what, Cooper, who's already been booked, has absolutely knocked him over. And if the referee had seen that, that should have been a red card. Wow. He's on a mixed bag, this referee, the first 45 minutes, that is for sure. But the good news is England are 5-0 up, and well, they're appealing for VAR here. And again, Torres again shooting off his mouth. He has no, well, I don't think he has the. Oh, and Torres there with a headbutt. And if VAR seen that, there may have been 2 Panama players off. Wow, the Panama discipline has been absolutely disgusting, and they all should be having the book thrown at them for bringing the game into disrepute as the kick comes in from Pamedio. We're now playing over the 2 minutes of stoppage time, presumably for the But that little incident, little set to with Maguire, and of course the celebrations of the penalty by Harry Kane. So the referee well within his rights to add a little bit of extra on. Surely it'll be probably only 1 minute and nothing more than that. And there it is, as I thought it would be. There is the half-time whistle. And what a great first half for England. Forget about Panama's dirty tricks and tactics and dissent. Let's talk about England. Fantastic performance from them. 2 goals for Harry Kane from the penalty spot. 2 for John Stones. What a free header to open the scoring after 8 minutes. The other one to make it 4. Jesse Lingard with the other one with a terrific 25-yard right-footed curler into the top corner. A goal of pure genius. And England have had a half of pure genius. Panama are incensed in every way, but quite frankly, who cares? England are 5-0 up at the break. We're going to take 10 minutes. England 5, Panama 0. Join us in 15 minutes. Welcome back to the second half as the England players and everybody is out there, and the two managers there in a nice little touch there before the start of the second half. So England 5-0 up at the break against Panama, a side that just excuse me, I'm just breaking over a can here of soft drink because it's an absolute boiling day here in Russia as the second half reconvenes. So England 5-0 up against Panama, and it has been one-way traffic throughout. Okay, the referee's a little bit dodgy, but the way the game's gone so far, it couldn't have gone well for England. But Panama now attacking the goal to our right, and here's Harry Kane now, just inside his own half. Well run again, and Walker gets it back to John Stones. We got England off and running in the early stages, opening exchanges of the match. This Trippier, who's contributed an assist on one of the goals, and he's part in a cleverly taken free kick which led to England's fourth one. So England with Pickford in goal, and then a back five of Walker, Trippier, Maguire, Stones and Young, Henderson, Loftus-Cheek and Lingard, and Kane and Sterling up front. For Panama, it's Pendiero in goal for them. Mauricio, Escobar, Torres and Gomez, Perez, Bacarianas, Cooper, Davis, Godoy and Rodriguez. Perez in fact the man up front. Lingard out towards Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek in for the injured Dele Alli, and they haven't missed Dele Alli's industry at all. I don't think he played that well. I didn't actually realise whilst we were covering that first match the other day that Ali was actually carrying an injury for so many. Young says Kane goes in looking for the hat-trick, a World Cup hat-trick, which would be brilliant, and then the referee is tumbled over, slipped over, quite comically there, but Kane kicks the ball. Good ball in there towards the penalty area. Chances here, and Lingard was lurking, so too was Raheem Sterling about a penalty spot, and it was hooked away by a good stout Panama defence so far in the second half. But now Panama with a chance to come forward with Godoy. But and now Torres gets it forward, and Torres might get there just for a moment, then Escobar almost lost out again. My goodness me, England have looked to exploit every weakness in that Panama defence. 5-0 ahead, and now it could be anything in the second half for England, if I'm being totally honest with you. The way they've played so far has been a joy to watch and a joy to behold, and so far so good. As England come charging forward once again, well, trying to put pressure on the back line, and they almost did so there. Number 15 Davis got it away, down to number 7 Perez. Now a chance here now for Panama to really have a go at the English. Here's Bacarianas, who's been their best outlet for opportunities, and his low ball in from the right of the penalty area as well, snuffed out by the goalkeeper Jordan Pickford, who's not had any significant save to make. And there's the flag. He stays down, and out comes the goalkeeper, and Raheem Sterling was the man denied. Sterling had gone to the left of the D. The ball was just hit a little bit too strong. Maybe hesitated slightly with his run, Sterling, because there may have been a suspicion perhaps of an offside about it. As we approach now, nearly 8 minutes past 2 o'clock this afternoon. 3 minutes of the second half gone. England 5, Panama 0 is the current scoreline at this moment. As soon as we're finished, and I've got to go straight away to a social gathering, as it's common these days. And it's a busy life I keep, not just as a commentator, but also to keep on top of friends and things like that. Of course, I will not be commentating this next Saturday But I will be back live next Sunday, but there will be a few delayed commentaries thrown in for good measure during the week on the last round of the games. So prepare for that as Panama try to get themselves forward in the opening exchanges. England still 5-0 up and playing with a bit of confidence, and a corner given now unnecessarily. Kyle Walker, they're trying to be a little bit too casual, I suppose, or try to be a bit too clever, and Panama have got a cheap corner out of it. Now then, what can Rodriguez cook up here on this near side? Right, left-hand side as we look, it's going to be left-footed. So it's going to be an outswing again. That's their first corner. England, amazingly, have only had 2, but they have scored from one of them. So what can Panama do here? And get some pride back in this second half. Well, the corner didn't come to anything at the moment. England keeping possession well. Kane might get there, but here comes Jordan Henderson, but he's muscled down by 2 red shirts. And here's Rodriguez on the left-hand side. Rodriguez turns away from his marker. Good football again, this time from Panama. They actually are playing some football, but the ball's gone out of play. And it will be a throw-in level with the edge of the England 6-yard box to England with 5.5 minutes of the second half gone. That's the goalkeeper here. He's right out of his goal. And in fact, yes, he got the ball. No doubt about it. He got the ball and had to take Sterling because of his momentum. So it wasn't a foul. And Sterling, in all credit to him, got up, not complained, and got on with the match, which is more than can be said in the first half of the Panama team. And I think at least 3/4 of their 11 should all be having the book thrown at them for bringing the game into disrepute. 6 minutes gone in the second half. England still 5-0 ahead. Here's Harry Kane. Oh, that's surely going to be a foul there. Absolutely took him from behind. Really stupid for Godoy to do, considering that he fouled him in the first half, which led to a penalty. The second of England's penalties, which Kane put away with some aplomb, and of course now he's on for the hat-trick, which the odds now are decreasing on him getting it by the second. And England keeping possession well, and they don't need to do anything rash or stupid. They've just got to stay patient, stay focused, make sure they get a couple of chances, and if they do, put them away. They've done all the hard work in the first half to get the 5 they've got. So the goal difference, as long as they don't concede one, it's not going to be a bad old day for England so far. Probably the best I've seen them play for quite some time, in actual fact. And they're just keeping the ball around it at a very slow pace. This is Harry Maguire now, 3/4 of the way inside, or halfway inside the Panama half, but 3/4 of the way up the field at the moment, England, I should say. This is Trippier. Henderson finding Trippier. Back to Henderson again. The 1-2 is working well for England at the moment. Little flick round the corner by Loftus-Cheek. Can't get in Jesse Lingard, whose third goal was, I think, in my opinion, the best of the 5 that we've seen. 2 were headers from Stones, 1 from 3 yards out. 2 were penalties from Harry Kane, and they were brilliant penalties. And Lingard's was the picture book goal. Corner to England, conceded by Escobar as England tried to rake on the right-hand side of the penalty area. Corner conceded, of course, by Escobar. So a real opportunity here for England to increase their lead to 6 from this corner. Plenty forward in, plenty 2 or 3 in the 4 in white, as you'd expect. And again, the referee will be watching the battle between Godoy and Harry Kane. And Godoy doesn't want to be giving Harry Kane a free hit to make it 6 and complete his hat-trick from the penalty spot. Now, that would be the last thing he wants to do. He's got to learn his lesson, at least from that first half. Trippier with the right-footed corner. Swings it in there, and again, this time, it wasn't convincing Panama defending, but Torres, in an unconventional way, just hooked it high up in the air, and they got the ball away to safety, although England have decided to win the ball back and then just play it back to Pickford. Maybe just to give him a touch of the ball, that he's not being left out, I suppose. He won't mind watching this England performance. I think he would have had a good view of the goals that have gone in at the other end. And it's the most comfortable England have looked for quite some time in a major tournament. Certainly in a match of that of huge importance. Remember, the second game is always the important one. The first one you have to win. The second one you have to win just as badly. And England are doing that. And their goal difference is looking healthy. It looks really good. That's the good news here as we come up towards 10 minutes of the second half gone. and England are 5 up and looking very, very good. And they are certainly playing with a real swagger and a real confidence about it as they build forward again. A long ball forward, looking towards Kieran Trippier, but the ball's out of play and behind for a goal kick to Panama. Well, the coach is, well, he was certainly frustrated in that first half, and he should be up in front of the disciplinary committee, I think, of FIFA, because he showed an imaginary yellow card, of course, halfway through that first half. And in my opinion, that is bringing the game into disrepute. And I think he has to look at some of the discipline of his squad and look at what they could have done in terms of playing an actual game. Because if they got their heads down, shut up, and just got on and shut their mouths and got on with the game, then I don't think they'd be 5-0 down. It's been so easy for England. But having said that, it's been a fantastic professional performance from England, and you can't give them as much higher praise as they're getting at the moment as that cross comes in. And the header wasn't a particularly good one there by the England defence, but they got away with it. It was Trippier, in fact, getting back there to do a bit of defending. Davis gets the throw for Tunisia, for Panama, level with the penalty area of England. They haven't scored against Belgium, and they certainly haven't looked like scoring, although on a couple of occasions they have looked a little threatening. They haven't really looked like scoring against England here. And as for the JV man of the match, well, it's going to be a close one thing. You've got Harry Kane in the running, Jesse Lingard for his wonder goal for make it 3, and also you've got John Stones with 2 goals as well. Let's put him right into the thoughts now for the Golden Boot himself, a centre-back. And he scored more than, and these guys have scored more than Lionel Messi has in the entire tournament so far. And that's a good ball over the top towards Raheem Sterling. And Sterling is penalised, presumably for pushing, and a 3 kick to Panama. To be fair to the Panama defence, they showed Sterling around the blind side, which in the end led to Sterling fouling his man. But it's been a confident, no-nonsense performance by England, and they've looked very, very solid as a unit. And there's no mistake in the fact that they are 5-0 up, and the way they've played so far has been exemplary. Loftus-Cheek comes bombing forward again, finds Kane, and now on the near side, Trippier is offside. And a bit of pushing there from Davis, absolutely uncalled for there. The discipline is still, the indiscipline from the Panama team is still there in evidence. I'm sorry to say, it's absolutely disgusting. And I really want to, I'd love to actually talk to the referee and pick his brains about what's been going on, because quite frankly, it's just absolutely disgusting. As England now go search of number 6, Loftus-Cheek to Henderson, back to Loftus-Cheek on the right hand side. Trippier, who's had a decent game again, really is going into that World Cup stage. Kieran Trippier, I've seen him for so many years playing in a claret and blue shirt for Burnley. He's had another marvellous day today. Obviously there's Nick Pope, but he's not being used as the goalkeeper as yet. Mind you, Jordan Pickford hasn't had much to do. The passing department, 310 passes for England, 178 to Panama at the moment. And neither statistic and the value of things, because the big statistic is reading England 5, Panama 0, and looking for number 6. And again, they're just playing with a patient build-up and trying to frustrate Panama at every conceivable opportunity, although they're frustrating themselves by giving away neither 3 kicks there as Cooper goes down, and he could have arguably been sent off for an elbow. I was talking to one or two people at half-time off air, and they were agreeing with what I was saying, because 2 or 3 of the Panama players are very lucky to still be on the pitch. The way their discipline or their lack of discipline has been called into question, certainly in the first half, and their attitude is absolutely been of the wrong kind, as they're looking to try and restore some pride into their performance. I know there's a lot of pressure on it to perform at a World Cup, but these teams have got, well, you know, you've got to play like an underdog, and you've really got to have a good mental steel attitude, and Panama have had a very narrow and very snappy attitude, and that's not what you want to see. Davis now on the left hand side. He's got Rodriguez on the overlap on the left. Uses Davis a second time and a third. Still Rodriguez, and now he's to go in field, and Escobar plays the ball out to the far side this time. England have got 4, 5, 6 players back, which is going to make it difficult for Panama. It really will frustrate Panama. As long as they stay well marked, Panama will not get past this England defence. Attempt to cross there from the far side, charge down, and now the ball back with number 5, Torres, and he's giving it straight away. It was a silly, lazy sort of a pass, and now England looking to break very quickly. This is off the cheek, just to the right of the penalty area, but midway inside the half, and then the ball played back, and England now just wanting to keep possession. John Stones was the man who made the original run forward through the centre. England now looking very solid and not giving anything away, and there's going to be an opportunity for the likes of Jamie Vardy and Fabian Delph now to have a taste of the World Cup action. And I'm not surprised that Southgate's rigging some changes, because it gives players like Delph and Vardy an opportunity here to. And I think Torres and Escobar will absolutely have a nightmare against Mr. Vardy. I'll be honest with you. Vardy's one of those players that lives on the edge and likes to give a bit back, and he likes to peel off the shoulder of the last defender. As England go looking for a 7th, deflected and in. It's number 7. The goal stands. Panama trying to claim offside, but the goal's going to count, and it's 6. And in fact, it's come off Harry Kane. He's got his hat-trick. Well, England go to 6. And again, good patient build-up. We were just talking about how Jamie Vardy would come on. Oh, no, I don't know. It's a bit close for the offside. It loops off Kane. The attempted shot from Loftus-Cheek. The referee had no hesitations of giving the goal. I suppose it was a bit unfortunate, but it's a fortunate way to bring up the hat-trick. The goal's going to stand, and England go to 6. And Panama, really, I mean, I don't understand. I think it would be in logic to go through the VAR again. They're losing by a long way anyway, and the goal is given. The goal is given, and he was just onside. He has to give the goal, surely. It would be an absolute heartbreaker to take the goal away from him, and the score remains at 6-0 despite the views of VAR. Well done, the referee. Kane is coming off, and we'll keep the match ball. Okay, it's a lucky way to bring up the hat-trick, but it's been fantastic. Eben and Ben say hello. Thank you. Hello to you guys. As Harry Kane comes off and gets a great reception from the England supporters. Absolutely Anonymous also says, take a bow, Kane. Fantastic performance today. And England, I think there's no doubt about it. Even after 62 minutes, I think we've got a shoo-in for man of the match here now. And that's going to be Harry Kane. I will announce it properly a bit later on, as off comes Jesse Lingard, who scored an absolute third goal of pure genius, and getting a deserved congratulations from Gareth Southgate and his coaching staff. Fantastic. England performance has been absolutely superb. You know, we had to rise above it, but what a superb performance. As for Panama, well, if they will be lucky if it could end up being double figures. There's still half an hour of this to go, by the way. One can understand their frustrations, but they've channeled it all wrong. Godoy is off and Ayala is on, as England now, or Avila is on. And obviously Kane off, Vardy on. And the same would apply to Jesse Lingard, who's replaced by Delph. But England's 6-0 up, and at the moment they're doing fantastically well. And they're going in search of number 7 here. And quite rightly so. They played some really good stuff today, England. And even despite the fact that they're playing Panama here tonight, or today, as Loftus-Cheek goes down the right, that's lovely control. Pirouetted well. Henderson tried to play the ball in. I thought he might have had a shot there. The goalkeeper looks a bit suspect for long-range shooting. I felt Henderson could have hit that first time with his right foot. But he decided to go for a pass, and in the end he lost possession, which has been a rare trait in England's game today. They've not given the ball away too many times today, which actually has been quite pleasing. And their pass completion rate, as I say, up around the mid to high 80s at the moment. But it's been a very warm day here in Russia today. High 40s in certainly percentages in humidity, and certainly in terms of the scoreline, with 20 minutes of the second half gone, it's England 6-0 to 6-0 to England. It might be 6-1 here. They try to go for another one off the line. It just will not go in for Panama, and that's the first big save. Murillo is down on his haunches. The goalkeeper made a truly remarkable piece of goalkeeping here. England a little bit sleepy there as Murillo came forward. No doubt the goalkeeper saved it, so it could have been a penalty, despite the fact that he clattered in to Pickford. And I think he was looking for the intentions of a penalty, but the Egyptian referee right on the spot just to give a throw-in. Been a great performance, and we've got 25 minutes still to go. And here is Murillo again, over to the far side, and now an opportunity for 15 Davis. Davis who wears number 15. 21 is Rodriguez on the left hand side. England 6, Panama 0. And I'm wrecking my brains, and I think that's the highest score in the tournament so far. So it looks as if the most goals in the game from anyone's side is 6. And England about to make their final substitution. Danny Rose is going to get a game here today. So a little bit more World Cup experience for Danny Rose. There's going to be another substitution here for Panama, the number 23. And it's been one-way traffic today. There's no two ways about that. Play with a real swagger, real togetherness here, England. And deserve their 6-goal lead. They really have played with a real swagger and a real vigour about them. And all will bode well going into the Belgian game on Thursday evening. A game you can hear with us. And it won't be me commentating, it'll be our good friend Chris Whiteman who will be in position in the box for that one. And he's got a cracker to look forward to there. That for the top of the group. And England, as things stand, I think on goal difference, I think they've got 2 more goals down. I think they've got a better goal difference of +2. So as things stand, with 6 unreplied, they've only let 1 in the competition so far. As long as they don't concede 1, they're going to be top of the group, and that is a real psychological blow to strike in favour of themselves, because it really puts Belgium under a little bit of pressure going into that final group game, as I said, on Thursday, which is the final round of group matches, and then it's a 2-day break, or a day's break, and then the round of 16 will begin on Saturday, beginning 6 days' time. And you'll be able to hear those games with Chris Whiteman. Double substitution, Balai number 23 is going to be coming on, and number 16, of course, is going to be number 16 is in fact Ariaro. And the other player is coming off number 6, Gomez. So he relinquishes the armband, and on his place comes number 23, Balai. And meanwhile, final England change, Kieran Trippier. What a fantastic match he's had. And he comes off to a good ovation from the England fans played a part in the opening goal for John Stones. And he comes off. He's had 70 good minutes out there today. Panini says, easy, 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 easy. Well, it has been quite easy for England. That's the shot there that deflected off Harry Kane. There are suspicions that it might have been an offside, but quite frankly, who cares? England are 6 up and coasting. Quite honestly. So England have made all their changes. Panama have made all theirs. And it's going to be plain sailing from now. The next 20 minutes is just going to be an absolute possession now, as England just go looking for more. They're just absolutely superb. Well, we haven't won the group yet because obviously we've got one game to go, Panini, and that's in Belgium, and it's against Belgium, of course. So potential 100% record could go on Thursday night, and it could well, Belgium have played exceptionally well, but England have played better. Belgium scored only 3 against Panama in the opening match, but England have scored 6. So in that way we are top on group difference, but we've not won any group just yet. The possession stats 57% to 43 in England's favour. We've made 369 passes, and they've made probably about 160 odd themselves, passes themselves, and obviously we've had more shots, and as you would expect. As England going looking for number 7, Vardy was right in there as the cross came in from the right hand side, and then hooked away by number 15 Davis down the Panama left. And here's Cooper. Cooper just tracks back with Delph sticking to him almost like glue, and it has been that sort of occasion. It's oh, that's going to be a foul. Stupid tackle, and the referee straight away with a yellow card. He knew it was a bad tackle. The number 2, Mauricio, is now he's going in the book, giving away to Sterling, and look at him there, just pulling him back, and then having a hack at him as well for good measure. I'm surprised that it's not a red, and in fact he misses the last game anyway through suspension, so that's probably justice enough, maybe. So 2 Panama players out of the final game against Tunisia, which you have to make Tunisia the favourites for, even though it's a bit of a dead rubber now, with England winning by 6 clear goals. Looking for number 7, Ashley Young, to take the free kick. And again, England haven't thrown too many forward. Now John Stones is being spoken to by the referee, presumably for pushing. I don't know why, but I don't know. But it's 6-0 now to England, as England go in search of number 7, crossing from the left-hand side. The free kick headed back in the way with interest. It might come. Oh, and it's just wide. It was Jordan Henderson with the right-footed drive. The relief captain with the shot with the right foot, and it just narrowly missed by not by much. It nearly was number 7. Not such good defending there from Panama, just on the edge of the area, and it just missed the post, the far left-hand post, by a fraction. Ooh, might have even shaved it, in fact. But England so close to goal number 7. This is just unbelievable. They're just playing with a real swagger, real confidence. Nothing's phasing them at the moment, England. And this is such a... If you look at the way they were 2 years ago under Roy Hodgson at the Euro 2016 in France, they're a far different side. Disappointing draws with Russia and another, I'm forgetting who it was. I think it was Slovenia, sandwiched in between a very unconvincing victory against Wales. Excuse me, saw them over to last 16, and then somehow they played the easiest team on paper in the group and lost. But the lessons seem to have been learned under Gareth Southgate so far. There's still a long way to go in this tournament, but England now having to beat what's in front of them and playing with a real confidence, which I've not seen from an England side for certainly in a major tournament for quite a number of years. Maybe since Denmark in 2002, when we absolutely steamrolled them 3-0 in a second round match. But England on their way here. And we're not, I mean, at this early stage it's hard to estimate whether we will win the World Cup or not, or we'll be there or thereabouts, but we're certainly going about it the right way. As Pickford, oh, he takes a risk there, Pickford, and almost ended up flat on his face because Javier was right in on him. I don't like it when the goalkeepers want to just play sweeper keeper. Stay on your line. This is why I was an advocate for Nick Pope starting in goals rather than Jordan Pickford. But, well, the battle was... It was Southgate's casting vote, and he decided that Pickford was the man for the job and not Nick Pope, despite Pope having the better statistics. But at the moment, Pickford's on for a clean sheet at the moment. But here go Panama looking for one back at least, with Rodriguez on the left-hand side. Walker's up against him, and he gets the cross in. It's a good cross, and in the end, England having to knock it behind for a corner because it came off the far corner flag. Danny Wells, it touched off last. And Panama just rolling a little bit in the last couple of minutes or so. But Pickford there, a little bit of a hesitation there. The ball just bounced a little bit unfavourably for him, and in the end, when Perez was right in on him, he managed to hook it away. But it's a corner here, and the number 19 will take it as the ball comes into the penalty area. A little flick on, and should have been a goal there for Panama at the far post. It was Torres who came right in there unmarked. And Panama so close to a consolation there. Lovely little flick, and well, that should have been a goal. Oh, the look on the coach's face sums it all. It was a goal that they barely deserved on balance of play, but it would have given them a little bit of heart and a little bit of sort of respectability, I suppose. But would have been a little bit harsh on England, considering that they've played all the football. And Panama have been a very dirty team, but having said all that, they should have scored. Still remains 6-0, but it's been a good England performance. Sometimes chances 0-0, that would have been a gilt-edged chance, but in the end, even if he had took the chance, it would have been nothing more than consolation, really. This is Loftus-Cheek now. As we go well into the last 15 minutes, we played just over 76.5 minutes here. And it's 6-0 to England. 3 for Kane, 2 for Stones, and 1 a superb 25-yard curler from Jesse Lingard has absolutely ripped the goal difference to shreds. But they can't afford to concede one now. They're giving away 1 or 2 cheap decisions here, England, and that's, well, I would say a little cause for concern. Not a big cause, but a little cause for concern that they're giving away some cheap decisions here, very, very cheaply. So an opportunity here for Panama to try and get on the scoreboard at least, and try and make a little bit of a real fist of it for the last sort of 13 minutes for stoppage time, as that free kick is driven in, and it's in! A goal in the centre, and it's the number 23, the substitute, who's got it. It's Daylayed. And there's a huge cheer in amongst the Panama section of the crowd, and England went to sleep there. That was poor defending by the English, and Panama, well, it's like they've scored the winning goal in the FA Cup final for them. Well, it's like they've won the World Cup, but it's stupid defending again in England, who looked on so close, well, no offside at all, and England just went to sleep. It was just silly defending. Great opportunity and well taken for Panama. He could have easily had a goal before that. Nearly with a great free kick on the far side. And, well, what a finish. It's a great finish by Daylayed. With 12 minutes to play, they're on the board at least. But once again, that England defence has got to be asked serious questions. And if we can see the goal like that to Belgium, that's bad. But that's bad for the goal difference now, because it means that we've conceded 2. We have to score again to be top of the group on goal difference. And that's a real psychological blow that Panama has struck back in favour of the Belgians. And it's an England player down there. It's Maguire. Well, the number 19 involved. Well, the Panama people celebrate as if they've won the tournament. But to score a goal in the World Cup is a great joy for them. Ballard, the substitute, has just wrote himself into Panama football folklore for that. So it's 6-1 now to England. But Panama have scored their first ever tournament goal in the World Cup. They have obviously done well in the Gold Cup, of course. which is the American competition, not the South American and North American tournaments. And of course, later to come, it's Japan against Senegal. That's in Group H. Group H comes to a conclusion as well today, and of course, Colombia, of course, play later on as well. So there's some good football action coming up later on. But it's England 6-1 up, and well, yeah, the last 16 we are going through. That's a given on goal difference. But for Panama, it's a great moment for them in their football history. And England, though, were very, very suspect there on defensive duties. That's 2 goals they've conceded in the tournament. One for a really poor referee decision, even with the help of VAR. And then, of course, real brainless defending to allow Panama a goal back now. England going hunting for a 7th. We've had 8. To be fair, we've had 7 goals in this game, and I would have taken that at the start in terms of commentary, and it's been probably the highest aggregate score that we've seen in the tournament. And it means that we keep our long run of non-goalless draws going. No group game so far has been goalless, and this is towards the end of the second round of group fixtures, and of course there's ones to come, of course. During the week, the last round, there was all games played simultaneously to avoid obvious stitch-ups. But goal difference is so important now. It's still important, scoring one more than we, and only need a draw. But this is poor defending. No one marked him. Baloy was just completely unmarked, slid in and scored there. As England go looking for a 7th and almost get it through Sterling with his right foot from 20 yards. And that would have eclipsed the goal that Jesse Lingard got in the first half. It was a really good effort, and just like the accuracy Lingard's goal did, it would have been some goal to get it. But there's no doubt about it. We're going to give the JB man of the match a bit earlier than usual, because there's only one winner really. Regardless of what John Stones does in the next sort of 10 minutes or so, I don't think he's going to get a third one. The shot accuracy, 12 out of 12 shots, they've had 58% accuracy, which is not too bad. And they've fired in 6 goals, which is not too bad either. But the man of the match, I'm going to give it now, even with 82 minutes in the game gone, it's going to Harry Kane of England. A fantastic performance, a great hat-trick, although the third one had an element of luck about it. But considering England didn't have any luck in the first game, maybe it was luck that was justified. The England supporters in fantastic voice and are going to celebrate in fantastic style. 6-1 for England. The only gripe I would have is the defending on the Panama goal, but you can't deny Panama a moment of glory for their nation, even if they have been a very dirty little team in the first half, which bowled on the edge of bringing the game into disrepute. But forget about all that now. England, good value for their victory. They're going through to the last 16, and convincingly so. There's a little concern there for Kieran Trippier. I hope that's a precautionary measure, because if we lose Trippier for the third group game, that's a real blow. That is an absolute blow. And the last thing we want to see is Trippier out of the third game, because he's been a very valuable member of the team. That is for sure. Here's Harry Maguire for England on halfway on the left hand side, and now infield to Delph. Back to Maguire again. Maguire now ambling forward, but showed too much of that to the defenders as the ball comes lofted in from the right to left hand side rather. The ball knocked back once more. Maguire going in a little bit too strongly there in the centre, and a foul there on number 4 Escobar, and a free kick to Panama. But now with about 6 minutes plus time added on to go before the end. And yeah, that's all. In honesty, he's all worried as well. We hope that's not too serious on Trippier. It looks like the medical wrapping on his leg, and it did look as if there was stripping being applied there. Absolutely anonymous, I have to say. I have to agree with you on that one. Well, we've got just under 6 minutes to go. England... Well, okay, the goal was a needless one for them to concede, but having said all that, the hard work was done in the first half. They built up a 5-0 lead, and then Kane has added to it in the second half, and of course, by the way, put one back for Panama. 6-1 it is. But England have really sent a message out that they are here to stay in this tournament for quite a long while. As Avilia wins the free kick. It was his free kick that led to the goal back. And, well, it's Brazil against Serbia later as well. Serbia in the final game. And of course, they were at the end of some real controversy against Switzerland. As the ball is fed in. I haven't seen the game back, but the Serbian FA have complained to FIFA of a conspiracy. There's of certain refereeing decisions, or a certain nationality of a referee, I think, that seems to be against them. I'll have to watch the match back in full to appreciate the full story, because I haven't seen the game. But from what I've gathered, the Serbian FA are not very happy with that. As we now go into the closing stages in Volgograd. (6-1) and really there's a real opportunity here for England again. This is Vardy going to the corners this time, but Vardy's got a cross in. Just one waiting in the penalty area, but England keeping possession, and Dale stupidly gives the ball away, and it comes back to Torres, number 5. 4 minutes to go. England still in cruise control despite the concession of a goal after 78 minutes. It's been easy for England really today. Now going to be more acid tests to come, of course. Belgium and then the last 16 onwards, as England will begin group stage. In the knockout phase, I should say. Well, we've got about 3 minutes 10 seconds of the game left to go, and a little bit of stoppage time will be no doubt added. This is Davis now for Panama. Davis out to the near side. This is Rodriguez. Rodriguez back in field, and again a little chip forward. The flag has stayed down here. Real chance here for Perez inside the area. Perez has to pirouette, if you like. Well, shield his back anyway. This is Davis. Davis towards the area. Still a chance here for Panama to get a second one. Rodriguez is on the left hand side still. Now the ball back inside to Cooper. Cooper back to the number 23 Barley, who scored their solitary goal. And of course Sweden were robbed against Germany, of course, last night. They were, I mean, we should be thankful that Germany and Argentina have struggled. Brazil have struggled as well. But what a World Cup it has been so far. The group stages have not disappointed one jot. Usually the opening games do tend to disappoint, but nothing like that at all. And that's the introduction of, and that's the difference that VAR makes, really, the VAR system. There's so many penalties have been given. In fact, more penalties have been given in this tournament alone than what there was at the 64 game stage 4 years ago. So that just shows how much VAR's had an impact, certainly in the opening exchanges, the opening week and a half of this tournament so far, and it's been quite a gizmo, and it's made a real difference. If only it was there in '86, eh? Well, we've got about a minute and 20 of normal time to go. I would wager there's only going to be at least 2 minutes of stoppage time. The game has sort of been littered with not too many stoppages, just for substitutions and the like. So I'll be absolutely amazed if there's 3 to 4 minutes at the end of the game. I would be, well, 3 maybe at best, but not to the certain extent that it's going to be 4 or 5 minutes, and I hope not, because I've got to get on my way very soon as we finish here. I'm going to get right out the ground and away. There will be reaction later on tonight, but as far as this, we're now into the last 40 seconds of the game. England 6-1 up, coasting. Harry Kane has already been rewarded the JB man of the match purely and simply for his hat-trick, and I've decided on that myself. We haven't needed a public vote today. There was no point he'd have one, because we all would have said Kane anyway. Although Jesse Lingard would have won, of course, as Young placed a free kick in there, and still a chance, and it was, well, it might have been red-faced now, because John Stones was like it as well. And if he'd have put that away, I think you'd have had a very red-faced commentator. John Stones almost, if he'd have just been able to control that and shove that in, he would have had a hat-trick as well. Remember, he's on a hat-trick as well, John Stones. Well, where's the form? Well, I'm amazed that they've got 4 minutes from. I can't recall too many stoppages just for substitutions. How on earth, where can you get 4 minutes from? Anyway, England on the break as they look to come forward, as the cross comes in from Rose and it's behind Jamie Vardy inside the penalty area. The cross from the left hand side. I'm still trying to work out where the fourth official's got 4 minutes from. There's hardly been any stoppages at all. The game's won for England. Just blow up. Just don't add too much stoppage time. I don't understand where are they silly mathematicians? Do they not do maths at school, these referees and the officials? How on earth can you determine a 4 minutes of stoppage time when there's only probably 2 to 3 at best? There was never a 4 minutes at the end. Well, we've had one of them anyway. One of the 4 have gone, as England look to try and finish with a real flourish here and really set up a real crunch game for the leadership of the group on Thursday night. A game you can hear on the JB Clark YouTube channel, and that will be with Chris Whiteman in the commentary box for that one. The England players looking absolute smiles on their faces. We've had a minute and a half of the 4. Jesse Lingard has had a superb afternoon. A smile etched all over his faces. He may have, well, the headlines will obviously no doubt belong to Harry Kane. He's also the top scorer in the tournament now. He's got 5 goals from 2 games, 2 against Tunisia, now another 3 here today. Over to you, Mr. Ronaldo, next week. Also does my fantasy football as well. No harm at all with this win, because he's got 3 goals, and that really changes the whole aspect of the competition as regards that now. Because I was struggling at the time to get some points on the board. We certainly got that now. Right back in the hunt now at the top of that leaderboard. As regards my works fantasy football, that is. As we're now deep into stoppage time. We've got another 1 minute and 40 to go. And I'll be finishing at around about 5-2. 5-3. And I hope you very much enjoyed our coverage this afternoon. It's been an absolute privilege bringing it to you live here. It was a last minute change of plan, and it's a good job that we did it, because we have brought you a real thrilling, brilliant England performance. Okay, it's petered out a bit in the last sort of 12 minutes, but the job was done in the first 60 minutes. A hat-trick for Kane, 2 for John Stones, both close range headers from set plays, and a 25-yard right-footed beauty into the top right-hand corner by Jesse Lingard. As I said at the time, a goal of pure genius. We're into the last minute of 4 here. And England now really have played with a real swagger, a real confidence about them. And Belgium, beware. 40 seconds left. What a performance from England. They've certainly turned up to the party and have played some scintillating football. Admittedly, the performance levels have dropped off since the 6-1 and Harry Kane coming off. It's just about going through the motions for England at the moment, but they're comfortably going to win the game. Go joint top with Belgium at the top of the group table, as Panama go hunting for a second one. And there was an opportunity for a bicycle kick inside the England penalty area, crossing from the left. The bicycle kick attempt was missed. 5 seconds to go before the end. England win possession back, but then it comes to Panama. This will be the last play as the last ball comes in. That's out of play, and surely that will be that as regards the game. We're now 10 seconds over the allotted 4, and surely now that kick from Pickford should be that. And well, what a performance from England. They performed admirably well. And there goes the full-time whistle then. There it is. 25 seconds over the 4 as it turned out. And England have won. A very comfortable 6-1 victory. 3 goals for Harry Kane. It takes him to 5 goals for the tournament and now tops the goal scoring charts. On 5 goals. 2 against Tunisia, 2 against the 2 of them from the penalty spot. And of course, 2 goals for John Stones, both close range headers. One a free header, second a close range header. Then Jesse Lingard getting the other one with a 25-yard curling shot for the left of the D into the right-hand corner to make it 3 at the time. England run out 6-1 winners. Burnley did pull one back towards the end for Panama, which they actually played with a bit more of a better attitude in the second half, and deserve a little bit of praise for their second half endeavours. But as regards the first half, I thought they was despicable in terms of their discipline. But a great performance from England, joint top with Belgium in the group, and it's all on that final game on Thursday, which you can hear live on the JB Clark YouTube channel. As regards this particular broadcast, it's all over for me now. England 6-1 winners. Have a wonderful Saturday afternoon. Enjoy the victory, and for me, JB, have a wonderful afternoon. Till then, goodbye.